Welcome to the MathLinks Grades 6 through 8 Core 2nd Edition Getting Started video series. In this session, we'll look at student packets. Have you ever been to a buffet where there are so many choices that it seems overwhelming? We don't want your instructional decisions to feel that way. Most programs mix the main course in with the entire buffet. We serve up the main course for you with lessons in the student packets that take only about 100 class hours. And then you'll have flexibility in choosing the rest of the meal with up to 80 hours for review, intervention, enrichment, and assessment. There are 10 packets per course. They're all structured the same, starting with a word bank, an opening problem, 3 or sometimes 4 multi-hour lessons, a review section, and a student resources section. Most people prefer the consumable print copies, but an electronic version is available as well. The student packets are also in the teacher portal in a no-print projectable form. Let's start at the beginning. The first page is a word bank with the main vocabulary in a unit. Address new words in context as they arise. These terms are underlined in the packet the first time a word comes up as a reminder to address it on this page. Teachers should help students unpack the precise definitions from the student resource section so that students can write the information in their own words, including examples and pictures when helpful. Next, you'll find an opening problem. This example has no information on the student page. We provide lesson notes, a slide deck, and an alternative version of it for delivering instruction in a different way if desired. The intent of most opening problems is to generate interest for the unit. Some of them can be completed within a class hour, but many require students to learn more concepts and skills and then come back to finish the problem later, which is how this particular one goes. As an example, here's one animated slide in a deck that can be used to guide instruction for this problem. Let's look at some features of a lesson. The gray box at the top describes goals of the lesson, and the lesson's content and practice standards are listed there too. Getting started problems set the lesson in motion by reviewing or previewing important skills and concepts. If more just-in-time review is needed, this is where activities from essential skills found in unit resources on the teacher portal will be useful. After getting started, a lesson will usually dive into important concept development. Here we see another very open student page where teachers guide instruction to best fit their students' needs and learning styles. Concept development is always followed by practice. A dose of problem solving is mixed in too. In this 7th grade circle area lesson, we revisit probability from an earlier unit. This is a good example of how connections are being made using big ideas. At the end of every lesson, teachers direct students to turn to the front cover of the packet and rate themselves on the main objectives of the lesson. Now on to the review section. There are usually about 3 activities that address the major goals of the unit, most of which are great for collaboration. Modifications may be made when teacher preference calls for individual student work. One of the favorite activity routines, so popular in the past that they're now in all units, are poster problems. They may seem complicated to pull off at first, but after doing one of them, students catch on fast and really enjoy them. Every review section has a crossword vocabulary activity and spiral review problems so that important skills from previous units are not forgotten. The review section culminates with our signature reflection page. At the top, students identify the big ideas addressed in the unit and also draw lines between them to note important connections made. They continue the reflection page by going back to the front cover to update their perceived progress on the lesson goals, and then they reflect more on how they applied the standards for mathematical practice and made connections in the unit. The student resources section begins with precise definitions for the important vocabulary of the unit. Helpful examples and explanations follow the definitions. And the packet culminates with a list of the relevant content and practice standards addressed in the unit. One last thing to note, on the teacher portal, each student packet has its own text file without any graphics. It can be used to translate student packet text into the student's primary language to assist with understanding problems and directions. To learn more about the program, please check out other Getting Started videos. We hope you now have a better understanding of our student packets. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about MathLinks.